right. So I kind of wrote some answers to the questions that we were sent.
Do we know how many people are going to be part of this?
I don't know. But it's only cities that have had mass shootings in the last year, I think. Why don't I start? I got a call from the former mayor of Dayton, who, in the wake of Dayton's mass shooting, worked with the mayor of Orlando and so many of the other mayors who've been touched by this horror. And they've put together actually two really important resources. One is called the 24-hour protocol. The other piece is the handbook, which is forevermore after the 24 hours. And that's 198 pages. We heard from the president and the vice president within hours.
Yeah.
I was going to thank them first for the opportunity to even have this conversation. We're really appreciative. And I was going to thank them for the speedy provision of federal dollars and federal leadership in the
we have gotten $0 federal dollars.
Okay, so not dollars,
yeah, no
just
dollars.
leadership. The ripple effects never seem to cease. I can only pretty much see to July 4th, 2023. I don't know what's going to happen on July 5th.
Hi.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? For what? Your dad?
Oh. When did that
Just
come?
a normal day, right? Normal day, you getting your hat packages, Tone.
You're a T-Rex.
They need T-Rex.
Hop in, Lane. Your sunglasses are in there. You want to put your sunglasses on? Charlie, can you help her?
No, she can do it herself.
Oh, sorry. They were so young when this happened. They still are so young, and one day we'll have to talk to them about this. And that not only do we have to talk to them about this and tell them that they were there, but there's actually footage that would prove it.
Charlie.
For those of us who are in this, it's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week continuation of how do I provide support to people whose physicality or emotional well-being are forever changed because of this event? How do I comfort people who have forever lost beloved members of their families? In our country, we hear about a mass shooting, we say that is really horrible for that community. And maybe we read about it the next day, maybe we don't. We just think, wow, so glad that didn't happen here. But it happened somewhere.
On the next On the Bump today.
As is the tradition, 4th of July celebrations in Highland Park begin with the Children's Bike and Pet Parade.
People from all walks of life come to the Highland Park Parade.
Do you want to toss it over to Mayor Nancy Rotering just to say a few words?
Thanks, everybody, for coming out today. We love you. We love our community. Happy 4th. Have a wonderful celebration. See you around.
I was out there to engage people and talk to them and celebrate the 4th of July.
Which was an unbelievably gorgeous day. It was the first parade we'd had since the pandemic.
We thought, why not bring the kids out? It's, been a pandemic. We've been stuck inside.
The route was right across the street from us. It was a no-brainer. Like, yeah, we got to be open. We got to support the community.
Let's do something fun. Let's go visit Daddy.
The joy was unbelievable.
We got ourselves situated outside of my husband's store on 2nd and Central.
Just to see everyone, we shouted out to friends, we waved to friends. I mean, it was just terrific. We turned the corner at St. John's to Central.
The band was coming by and everything.
My husband was there, and I waved to him.
Said hi to Dad. Daddy held Delaney. Charlie, no more. She's fine. I had tried to prepare my children for what a parade was because they'd never been to one before. So we watched Elmo's Little Red Monster Parade.
Let's parade!
It was all the monsters going and expecting, you know, a marching band and all these different, you know, things to be there. It was anything but that.
What I didn't realize when I waved to my husband was literally kitty corner on the roof was the shooter, which to this day makes me want to throw up.
I happened to look up, and that's when I saw the shooter on the roof.
Very quickly, it went from being it could be, you know, a casual celebration to something very bad is happening right now.
I feel like time kind of stopped at that moment, and I was just like, no, this isn't happening. This can't be happening.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
I seen a group of people, a crowd, running towards us.
I told people to get down, and I had my daughter in my hands, my 1-year-old daughter, and I hit the ground with her, I remember. I said, get in the store, and I screamed to get into the store. While I was running, I felt something sharp hit my side.
We ushered as many people as we could in.
And then the confirmation of seeing that footage of us running into the store, my mother-in-law crawling over my son's body to protect him from bullets. That was really hard to see.
Best way to put it is none of us were prepared for it. But yeah, we had people hidden throughout all over the store. We had people kind of like hanging out through in here, people in the break room, stairwells. One of our employees, he was in here. He had the lights off and he just hid in here. My mom and my kids were hanging out here in the corner. We stored people wherever we could. You know, just thinking about like, you know, a trapped mouse. You know, you just try to figure out where you can go to hide.
And I just remember saying, I think I've been hit. So when I pulled up my dress and, you know, I was wearing like some undergarments that had some burn marks on them, and I pulled down those two, and there was some blood and already some bruising around it. It was probably shrapnel that had hit me, and I was put in an ambulance with a couple other people that were just minorly injured like I was so that we could go to the hospital. The moment they left the room and I was by myself was when I think it really all hit me what had happened. It was my first moment of just quiet to think and process through things, and I just broke down. And the doctor had come in and she hugged me, and that was really the first moment I could internalize anything that had happened.
Highland Park Hospital is a level 2 trauma center,
which has different degrees of requirements with regards to immediate staffing and resources that a level 1 trauma center has.
It is a community hospital that doesn't see a lot of penetrating trauma violence.
I must have seen 4 or 5 ambulances on 41, and I started to get a sense of probably the magnitude.
We've turned into a level 1 trauma center in a matter of minutes.
There were so many patients, I can't remember how many I saw in that initial moment.
And it was almost like an out-of-body experience to kind of be in this high adrenaline, high pressure, high intensity situation. And then like to get in my car and like, okay, now I'm supposed to act like everything is okay, right? Like I'm driving home. I hear fireworks, which I love, but they terrified me because all I could think about was, you know, gunshots.
On the next On the Block, the EFM.
What form of support did our community need after experiencing a mass shooting?
Everything.
Right, I know.
And then the other thing that I think there was confusion about was access to victims. So people want to communicate with victims, and we cannot share victim information unless they give us permission. We have a list of over 2,000 victims of people that were there and that were impacted in a variety of different ways.
I drove around the block twice before I actually parked the car. The anxiety of coming back, it was definitely like, maybe a 12 out of 10. It was up there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My pleasure.
Thank you for coming out.
My pleasure. Good to see you. Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful Monday.
You too, sir. Everything's good with you and the daughter?
Yeah, everybody's good. I'm actually on my way home from PT.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We need to catch up, okay?
Yeah, I'll catch you.
All right.
For at least the first 2 weeks after this happened, one of my main uses of my time was going into the area and talking to people, hugging people, walking with people who were afraid to walk down the street. Can I hug you?
Yes, you can. I'm always looking for a hug.
Oh. How far do those ripples go out in terms of those families' pain and those families' changes in their lives? And then you have thousands of people who saw things they never should have seen.
I mean, the flashbacks, especially, right after, were really bad. The first couple weeks, every morning when I woke up, I open my eyes and I then say, like, oh, that happened. That really happened. McDonald's.
I know for sure my wife, it was hard the first couple nights falling asleep. The images that she sees are way different than what I see. She's one of the few that saw the shooter.
The triggers bring me back to looking up and seeing him. I think it just makes me anticipate danger that's not there sometimes, So I go into places and I anticipate that repetitive noise, or I anticipate somebody pointing a gun at me again.
Come here, you gonna build the track, Lainey? Yeah, I listen to that. Come here. Here.
Where is there a person here?
Oh.
Car. Yeah.
The hardest part for me is trying to answer questions.
Too fast.
My son is a very loud, rambunctious, energetic kid. That day, I had never seen him so quiet. He did a lot of observing that day, especially days after. He would ask questions. Daddy, why weren't you downstairs with me? Where were you? What were those bangs that we heard?
Yeah. Comes into our room in the middle of the night multiple times a night saying that he had a nightmare, and we're like, is this a 4-year-old thing or is this a trauma thing?
How do I tell him that? Someone was shooting at us.
Love you.
Am I saying goodbye to you?
I think so, because I'm driving away. For me, it's a little isolating. People don't, they want to be sensitive to you. They want to give you space. They don't want to bring it up. And I don't mind talking about it, but they don't want to bring it up because they don't want to upset me, so they kind of just ignore it. So it feels very alone sometimes. I feel very alone.
Fell. It's just a thing I do every morning. Rain, snow, shine, just a way for me to pay respects.
People are victimized every day. But the evil that occurred on the 4th of July, I don't know that I've ever been that close to the evil before. I think about this incident almost every day. That impact not only affected the victims that were directly injured, but extended to levels that I think none of us fully can appreciate. It's impacted my career. I still cover a little level 2 trauma there. And then I'm still doing some elective work.
Oh, okay.
So once in a while, no more overnight stuff. For the most part, the physical scars will heal, but the mental scars are going to be there forever, unfortunately.
We'll never get back to where we were because this is something we'll never forget.
You know, I wish I could say I'm going to be able to move on from this, but I won't. I'll never be the same.
When it comes to my family, I'm a lot more protective. I'm a lot more aware. I'm very alert of who's around.
I think I've accepted what's happened, but I don't think I've accepted that I am a new person now. I'm a different person than I was before the parade, and I think that's going to take a lot of work to figure out who that is. I'm learning a lot about myself, my new self, I suppose.
This type of conversation hopefully will help people to recognize that this doesn't go away. There will be repercussions for decades, if not lifetimes. Multiply that by 600 plus communities who experience this each year. This is a truly American story that needs a new chapter.